It's cheaper than therapy.
Yep.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers, cheers, and welcome to another episode of Money, Marriage, and...
Magic.
The Magic.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Zack.
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 Ooh, just got fancy there.
Zack, who eats za at the pizza place. Did you ever call pizza za?
No.
Only Labrie did, and now it's a thing. Or it was a thing.
He made it a thing?
I don't know.
I would venture a really good guess that other people call it za.
No, they do. There's places called za.
Oh.
I never have heard of it, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's nighttime. Aria's getting put to bed. I hear thumping around upstairs.
Foot.
Yeah, it's like a big cat. It's like a bear running around up there.
Ginormous cat who lives a lot longer.
Imagine if we didn't have carpet upstairs, how loud it'd be. Remember?
Best decision ever. Carpet. Worst and best.
Yes.
How was your day?
It was good. It was good. Did a lot. Work. Ate. Just had some chicken.
Yeah? How'd that go for you?
Good. Chicken, broccoli, and what else we have? Salad.
That's called salad.
That was pretty tasty.
That's called salad.
That's pretty tasty.
How many times during dinner did Aria say booty butt?
13 and a half because I cut her off the last one. Said, don't say that.
So, speaking of children, topic tonight is going to be how children affect your marriage.
They don't affect your marriage.
All, you can do everything you did before.
Gosh.
You never have to worry. Don't stress. Life will be the
They
same.
float around on clouds and they just hand you money, right?
Sorry, wrong.
How old is our kid now?
So Aria is 5. Her birthday's in
gosh.
December.
Oh my gosh.
We have 1.
You sound like you're talking like Aria. Our baby's 5. Birthday's in December.
Oh, MG.
Aria, how old are you? Well, I'm 5.
5. She doesn't have that much tude. I mean, she's got 5-tude.
Define
every
tude.
year.
Attitude? Oh, I heard toot.
Of course you did. Because all we talk about right now,
Booty
so
butt.
all you parents out there, anybody who's got children, you know that they get this word and they get fixated on this word and hooked on it.
She might come down.
Hers right now is booty butt.
Be careful how loud you say it. She might come running down like, someone say my name?
She can sense it. Somebody said booty butt? Where?
I believe it. I believe it.
But that's her word and it's her jam and she says it and it's cute when she says it. So you laugh at it. Then she thinks it's even cuter. So she keeps saying it.
But
then you're like, should I laugh at that or not? I mean, is it really a bad word?
I don't think it is. I mean, there's many more bad words, but she knows it's a bad word because all I say every time she says anything bad, Nahama, her preschool teacher, I'm always like, well, you know what? I should call Nahama and ask her if it's a bad word.
That's your threat on her. That's your fear factor.
It's a little bit, yeah. But I think it's a very smart threat, if you want to call it. I'm like, well, maybe I should call Nahama.
Making her teacher the bad guy?
No, I should say maybe I should call Nahama to see if she thinks it's a bad word. And she goes, no. I'm like, well, then.
She senses that if she shouldn't say it at school, she shouldn't say it at home.
Yeah. Kids know what they can get away with. They're masterminds. Kidding me?
Masterminds is maybe an understatement.
Yeah.
Let's start this off by telling you that we deeply love our child. Deeply love our child. And we're just gonna start by saying, please don't take anything we say in this episode too deeply to heart when it comes to our child. She is ours, and everybody has their own unique experience with their children, their future children, the ones that they've been dreaming of, the ones they've been waiting for, whatever state of life you're in your child phase. They're all different and we're all unique.
Yes.
Okay?
And our history, you guys, is we have a 5-year-old. We didn't really ever think we were going to have kids, but we did one thing that we value as important. We communicated a lot about having kids and talked about it every time, never shut down the conversation. And then one day, we just talked about it like, yeah, let's do it. Sure. Let's try it.
We really had no idea though. We were like, okay, we knew where to start clearly, but, ooh. I just spit everywhere. That was beautiful.
Can't see it.
Oh, my microphone did. It was like this weird, are we doing this? Should we try? How long is it going to take? We were so, like I said, we knew the steps to take, but we were kind of oblivious.
I think every parent is.
Really?
Yes.
I'd have to disagree.
I mean,
to some
everybody's
extent, yes,
oblivious to what is really about to happen. You cannot prepare yourself for having a child.
Yeah. Like the the all the things.
The day
the
you take your
in-betweens.
kid home, it begins.
Yeah.
You know, but we have one. But we also said pretty much from the get go we were one and done people, and we locked that in stone.
And we can go in a whole crazy world of being one and done. A lot of
but
people,
that factors in this topic of
some people disagree with it and some people agree with it. But at the end of the day, it's our decision, and we're very happy with our decision.
And everybody has their own decision.
We don't judge anybody for what they do. If you have none, if you have one, if you can't have any, if you have 15, power to you. But we knew our capacity as human beings and our relationship and what we wanted for our future. And this works perfectly.
Yeah, every family's different, we just kept talking about it. We were one and done, and we are one and done. It's confirmed. And
confirmed.
I got snipped.
Yep.
Nah, I don't care. It's not even a snip. It's more of a.
It is a weird way.
A cauterization.
Are we here to talk about vasectomy?
It's more of a burn you can't feel, but you smell. That's what I will describe it. That's exactly what a vasectomy is.
Might have to bleep that part out. Nobody wants to hear about that.
Yeah, but that's.
What about the daddies who have to go get one?
It's the easiest thing in the world.
I'm very happy you said that because
no dad can complain about it unless because I've been told things happen after the fact. The whole situation. Do not whine to me ever about it.
But everybody, this is a whole nother thing. I'm just going to
don't whine to me about a vasectomy.
Don't whine to me.
And also, you can't whine to a wife about it because there's no comparison to giving birth.
Pushing a child out of your vajayjay.
Yeah, vasectomy took 15 minutes, and I was having a conversation with the doctor, and he was telling me, he's like, it's going to feel like a little pulling, like on your stomach. No, pulling on your stomach, like when you eat something bad, like that feeling. And then he's like, "Hey, you're gonna smell a little burning." And then
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm so grateful for you getting a vasectomy.
Yeah, but that was our talk that we had. And
we were one and done. So we got one. We went into it pretty oblivious. Like we spent a lot of our life traveling. A lot. We would take 1 month every year off and go traveling somewhere that we wanted to see in the world. And I was convinced that we would be able to do it when we had a baby. And I mean, like, not like newborn phase, but in the first year of her life. Like, I was convinced, like, yeah, we're just going to throw her in we'll pack her up and pack up all her things. And she doesn't need food and she doesn't need this. Like, we can do this. Like, no big deal. And I remember one of my girlfriends being like,
but even when the laugh happens and the telling you happens,
I still want to kind of
people
prove
are
them
still
wrong.
I mean, we went through it. Everybody gets this weird cloud of oblivious covered over, like you can't get past this barrier.
Because it's
we're
such
gonna be different.
Huge shock.
Yeah.
Like nothing can prepare you.
You can only
for having a child.
Prepare as best you can, but you cannot prepare for us. You cannot.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Yeah.
With one, we're saying one. Everybody watching is like,
it's like, oh, you guys got it easy, and I know.
Turn that off. Don't watch that.
We know exactly what our lives are. We decided that life, and we're very grateful for that. So please don't think that we're jerks. We're not saying anything against anybody and their decisions that they make in their life, but for our life, this is what worked. I just have to extra emphasize that because I know that children can be a very hot topic. You know?
But everybody has their views. I mean, we're not everything like we stated.
But we want to talk about children, how they affect.
How did they affect our marriage? So pre-marriage, like Jess said, we had our own businesses, and she worked at the restaurant, so it was a way of her schedule that can be manipulated. And I had my own business, so we were able to work really hard and travel, and that's what we felt like is our world of happiness. Where we, our last episode of money, like that's where we feel like our money is best well spent for is experiences. So that's what we did. And once the baby happened, and the first year of cloud.
That first year is hard.
Oh yeah, it's very, very
hard.
Yeah, it was hard. So like I think what do you think?
So many challenges.
That it has stages.
We were 20. I was 24.
Huh? When you had Arya?
I was 34.
I'm like,
kidding.
What are you
I thought
talking
I was
about?
24. Whoa.
I mean, that's what I feel, but there's.
Sometimes I think I'm 21.
People have to know a number. I'm like,
right.
yeah, that's that's right.
Yep, I was 34. I was 34. You'd been 35 when we had Arya.
Yeah.
So I was under that like bubble where they say, "Ooh, you're old having a baby
It sucks.
now," which is ridiculous.
It sucks that women have time frame. It really sucks because I feel like the longer you can wait to be really ready, which you can never be ready, I think it's nice to know that. Whereas again, it's then going into the force. Well, I only have a certain amount of time, so let's do it. And that's, I don't think you should have a child based off that. I don't think you should have. Then just wait you can't wait and adopt because then it's not your blood. It's very tough. It's a very tough decision to come to when it's like, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I don't feel it.
So how, we had her first year was difficult.
Yep, we were living in a 2-bedroom condo. We moved while you were pregnant, 2 months before she was born.
I was 8 months pregnant.
Jess hauled boxes, which
people
I didn't say
like,
she had to.
People were yelling at me.
People helped.
I'm not really good at sitting still, so I was like, I can do this. People were like, no, you can't. You're so pregnant. And I was like, okay, fine. What do you want me to do? Sit here and direct traffic? And that's what I ended up doing. It was a bad experience. But that's what happens when you wait. Don't wait till you're 8 months pregnant to move. It's not a smart idea. But we did that. We moved. Then we bought our first home. And then we are now in our forever home. So we bought our second home. And all through that, we've started another business. We've done multiple little travels. We never did the big travel. We have the big travel finally coming. I've waited 5 years for this. We have the big, huge overseas travel that we're going to finally get to do. And our life, we love travel, like deeply love travel. And travel with children is challenging, to say the least.
And that's why I always tested Jess all the time up until now to take a big trip, because I know there's no right or
there's
wrong
never
time.
A right time.
But you can have an advantage, I feel, in certain areas, just like going to Disney with your child and like, should we buy a pass or not? And it's like, I don't think they're at the age that they'll appreciate or remember. So spending that much time and money, it's not a smart play. And then we waited till last year, this year-ish, and we're like, it's the right time. So
it is the
when
right
you
time.
have to spend a lot of money on something, the more you talk about it, I think it's beneficial. And with a trip like this, I think we're going to be at a good time frame, regardless of, you can't guarantee she's going to be great or not throw fits, but we're going to expect it in so many ways. So it'll be what it'll be. But I think it's a good timing right now to get back into it and test it, because we have to spend money.
Yeah.
And there's nothing
plus she understands a little bit now travel. It's before she goes into kindergarten, her birth date's at the very end of the year. So I think before, when she was a newborn up to age 4, it just would have been like, we took her to Hawaii on a trip, and it was the trip from,
looking back though,
but it wasn't that bad.
See,
but when we were in it, it was bad.
Yeah. When we were in it, I agree. Honestly, I remember everything from that trip, and it was pretty amazing.
So Aria got super sick. Like, I'm talking 103 fever, like crazy sick. So so we were in the Sevilla house. So she had to have been, I think she was 2, just a little bit older than 2. She was walking. Yeah. She was still in diapers.
Yeah, she was like 2.
She was like 2.
It was February or March.
So we I was having like a mental breakdown, and Zach was like, where do you want to go? Let's just get away. And I was like, can we go to Hawaii? And he's like, I don't know. I'll try to make it happen. Anyways,
it was our first trip since that.
Our first big trip with her.
We spent some money where I was like, where do you want to go? Wherever you want to go.
Man.
Like, we spent a chunk of change, something that we would never normally do.
Yeah.
But like dire needs of like, look, let's get out. I don't care where it is.
But she got
let's just go.
sick. Like the first night there, she was up all night. I was up all night. She was sick, and she was just miserable, and she was probably had the cold flu. Like, it was just bad. We were in a beautiful spot. The weather was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. And then traveling with that age and a sick child was really rough.
It was like 24 hours.
Zach turned into like a miserable
I don't
human
get that
being.
mad or anything, but I was
like
just
miserable.
Yeah.
And finally it came to the point where I was just like, hey, pull it together. Like, we are here. Either like shit or get off the pot, because I was like, this is enough. I'm like, I'm dealing with a sick kid and I need you to support me. I'm like, it's 9:00 in the morning. Let's have a drink.
I think mainly it was because money.
Oh gosh.
It's because of how much money we spent on that.
Yeah.
That's where my brain.
High hopes.
I submerged
Your
myself
hopes were
around.
too high.
I don't know.
It had to have been.
I just think it was our first kind of trip, and I was like, that amount of money we spent, I think.
But you were valuing the experience of your trip.
So this is a prime example.
Money.
But this is a prime example of our topic. I compared it with a child trip with the same amount of money to the same amount of money we spent 30 days traveling in a different country. But
we chose Hawaii, babe. Like, that place is so expensive. But I'm just saying, it's kind of different.
I just thought that the whole element would be just surreal and
You thought your 2-year-old would just cooperate, not get sick.
I didn't
walk
really know.
on water.
But the thing is, I remember the trip, and it was I don't
good.
remember
We
her
did
being
a
sick
lot.
anymore. I don't.
Oh, I'm happy.
I don't.
Probably
I remember so
probably
much
because
of it.
I've bitched the horrible out of that trip out.
No,
right?
I just remember it was insane. We did a lot of stuff.
We did a lot. She trooped
in the
it.
time frame,
She
I
had no
was
choice.
pretty miserable and upset. But after the fact, which is surprising, I thought it was insanely amazing. I remember everything. It was insane.
Good.
Even her being sick. I don't remember that much of her being sick except in the hotel room, but it was amazing.
She was just really whiny was the tough
Mm-hmm.
part. It was just lots of whiny, like, and just really tired. And that's a kid. But I mean, that's like, we thought we could just go on vacation and everything would be hunky-dory and it'd be perfect and we wouldn't have all these issues. Oh yeah, were we mistaken? And I'm fully aware that we're going to go on this trip and we're going to have challenges with her. We are not parenting experts. We don't claim to be parenting experts. We are learning every single
just like how we learn with
day.
each other as a relationship, it's the same thing with our child. Like we're trying to learn every day. I love info, and especially it's free. You just have to
Did
ask.
somebody
and
put
look.
the chickens away?
I did.
Oh, speaking of parenting.
Did you hear him?
No.
Oh.
We also parent chickens.
Yeah, we have 3 chickens.
And sorry, like my brain, mom brain, just zoop, did somebody put the chickens away?
Hey, maybe we should just switch.
Whoa.
How did chickens affect your marriage?
They did too.
Yeah, they did.
They make me mad. I mean, if they would produce eggs, anyways.
Yeah,
whole
you
nother
worry
story.
too much.
Okay, so
how do kids affect marriage?
how do they affect marriage? Like how the stress that it can add to a marriage. Okay, so from Very Well Mind, I got a couple little tidbits here about how and what. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, no matter what, it's going to cause stress. It's just inevitable. It's a foreign territory that you're going into trying to learn how to parent. And that alone is crazy. Okay, less time together. You just got to spend all this quality time. You could have date night. You didn't have to get a babysitter. You just got to do you. Like, oh, you want to go out tonight? Yeah, we got no other engagements. Let's go out. Like, that was a big one for us. A huge one for us.
We had no help, and I do feel that's my first question I ask everybody.
I know, you
when
do.
they're thinking about having kids or having kids, I ask, is there a grandma, grandpa, or someone that you have access to that, like, not drop of a hat, but like, hey,
Somebody you can
tomorrow,
rely on.
could you help? Or tomorrow, could you watch? If you don't have that, I would say expect it's going to be a little harder. You're going to have quadruple duty rather than double. It's going to be harder.
Remember, you had to,
not
like,
going to be harder.
you have to find a
it's going to
babysitter.
it can make life a lot easier.
Remember when we interviewed babysitters?
And she happened to be from Minnesota.
Yeah. Less time for oneself.
For
so,
sure.
you know, going out shopping or getting your nails done or your hair done or going for lunches. That's a girl's perspective. Man's perspective, I'm not really sure what he did by himself. Go to the casino.
No, I bet that is just... I
watch
think,
a TV
I think
show
a
in peace
is
and quiet.
Uninterruptions.
Do whatever you want to do, kind
Just
of thing.
doesn't
like that
matter.
goes away, and like you're not used, and it goes away overnight essentially because the baby's not there, and when the baby's in the belly, you can pretty much do all these things, and then once that baby's out, you're like, whoa, hey, who are you?
Do you think it goes away just because it does, or I guess do you think it could be fixed or remedied prior by like just knowing? Let's say we were having a child and someone's like, you know what I would recommend is just make sure once a week you give each other a half day, 3 hours to do whatever they want, whether it be going grocery shopping by themselves or something, because we didn't know, because you're thrown into turmoil and you're in the trenches and you just want to like fight your way out, and you're doing it for a year.
Yeah.
So we're looking back, like, could you have? And I think we did.
It just didn't matter because it's not the same.
Plus, you got to be a mom that's okay to leave your child.
Yeah.
And if it's not with a family
and that's
member, it's very
hard
tough.
in the beginning, and there's that one's a big. All of these are big ones. Another one is greater demands placed on the partnership. So when a child enters a relationship, couples need to divide up responsibilities and caretaking. If you know, like, you got to go back to work, and who's going to do pickup and drop off? Who's going to alter their schedule because your childcare place only gives you like these are the hours, and finding somewhere that's close to home, and like that alone, I think, like the United States of America, I'm sorry, I'm from Canada, and I think I have it is horrible the amount of time that you get as a woman that you have to go back to work. Like I just, like, that is not fair. It is not normal. It's not okay. I will petition for that. But I mean, it's a pretty wild thing that you have to go back to work. And that's so hard, right? Like you only get this much time to bond with your child. You got to go back to work. Daddy's back to work, or maybe daddy gets some time off work, which is awesome. And totally love that can happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's so wildly crazy. So wildly crazy.
Yeah. Is it Canada and I think Dutch you get like 2 years, both wife and
There's
husband
some
or
European
partners.
countries. I'm not 100. You
like
can
2
Google
years,
it, but
like 2
yeah,
years
there's some
off.
like Canada's good, but there's better countries for it. And I mean, like this is such an impact. Like this is the rest of that child's life. This is the rest of like your life together as a couple. Like it's so important.
I think it should be part-time or like, because do you think if you got 2 years off from a 9 to 5, I mean, that's a lot of things can happen within 2 years. Like, let's say your job changes, someone else comes in and takes your job. Yes, you're guaranteed it back, get it. So,
I don't know if I would have needed 2 years, but I mean, a good year, I think a lot happens in that first year. Like, it's incredible. They come out as this little tiny alien to potentially walking and saying things like that progression. Like, no mother or father should have to miss that. Like,
yeah, for the missing factor, a year. I think everybody around the world should get a year. 100%. I think 2 is I think someone, I don't know, but I'd do a year. 2 is a lot. Because take away the kid, things can happen.
I would go stir crazy.
That's
would
what
be
I
my
mean.
thing.
Like that too. It's like
I'd start working from home. I'd start trying to build a business from my house. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
A lot can happen in 1 year, but that first year you're engulfed. The second year, I'm like, what are you going to be doing?
I know.
You can find stuff with your child, but mentally, I think for an adult, I don't think that's healthy.
And if your significant other is working and you're at home by yourself a lot, you'll go cuckoo.
I honestly, if you have 2 years off, your second year should be focused on starting your own business.
Right? Like do something with that.
Double down.
At that point, like they nap, they should be on a more regular schedule. A lot can happen.
Double down.
Okay, next. Different responsibilities and different expectations. Additionally, when you have partners, have different responsibilities. It's possible for one or the other to feel resentful if they feel they're working harder without a frame of reference for what the other partner is dealing with. It's easier for new parents to feel that they should be handling things differently and feel frustrated as a result. Like moms who stay at home and dad's working, dad comes home, and I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it in my friends. I've seen it in my family. I've seen it in people I barely know. It's a hard thing to deal with.
So how do you manage, or someone's got to be the bigger person when you come home and butt heads from someone coming home at 5 and mom done at 5 or dad done at 5 with the kids? Like, how do you become the bigger person to just say, you know what, so-and-so or significant other,
I know how.
This sucks. We're both, whatever. Can we come to like, this just sucks, and can we agree that we've both done an amazing job today and worked very hard, and it's not who did more.
It's the hardest, easiest thing to do.
Let's just talk about it. Communication.
It all comes back to that. I'm sorry. You guys are going to be like, God, this girl, this is all she talks about. But I'm serious. You can't get anywhere in life with your family, with your spouse, with your children. If I could wish for one thing for Aria and I to have till the day she dies or I die, communication.
She will.
And the same with you, because I feel like it'll change everything, right? Because like if you can communicate and be like, hey, yo, listen, like I know you work late. I know you're exhausted. Like I know you're so, like sometimes this happens with Zach and I. He'll work on Saturdays. He's DJing. He doesn't get home till 1, 2 in the morning. I know he's exhausted. I've also, when she was younger, and if he had to work a Saturday and Sunday back to back, I'd be like, listen, I know you're exhausted, but I'm exhausted. I've had 2 full days with a toddler. I want to rip my hair out. I want to love her, but I can't stand her right now. I need your help. Like, I need you to wake up with her tomorrow. I just need to sleep in, and I just need a little bit of time away from her. And as much as that hurts me and pains me to say that as a parent, being like, I need time away from my child. She's driving me crazy, and I don't really like her right now. I love her, but I don't really like her. It was so important for me to say that. And you, even though you were tired and you're probably exhausted, you're like, yeah, sure. I need you to be sane. So,
I mean, a lot can happen in an hour. A lot.
You can
come uninterrupted hourness. Yes. A lot can go down. And I will just say that out there to anybody listening, that an hour can go a long way, uninterrupted.
Yep.
And
I agree.
That's one TV show.
One TV show.
How many of you binge watched last night?
Okay, so here's the good news. The good news is, though, although some studies show that Marital satisfaction doesn't rise significantly until children leave the nest. Ooh, that's a long time. Having children is worth the effort in other ways. Okay. Children enhance altruism.
Don't know. These are two big words for me.
Other research shows that giving to others and expressing altruism. Can you Google that word? We ain't silly folk, but hey, we're just
How you
trying
spell
to
it?
altruism is beneficial for our overall well-being and
The belief in or practice of disinterested and selfless concern for the well-being of others.
Okay. It enhances that in your life. Having children. The overall well-being and having children certainly provides opportunities to give of ourselves. It does. It makes you unselfish.
I can agree with that. And also just makes you realize that all the stupid shit you've been paying attention to doesn't really matter anymore. I will say that is top 3 things of what a child does.
This next one's really interesting. And I'll just read it. Children reduce the likelihood of divorce. Yeah.
Read it again.
Children reduce the likelihood of divorce.
Man, that is going to be probably 50-50
I
down
think
the,
as two people who came from a divorced family, I find maybe I'm tainted a little bit. But let's see. While new parents may feel less happy, they are also less likely to divorce following children. This may be because they are more motivated to keep their partnership together for the sake of their children, which is
Ooh. I hate that. But yeah, it irritates me.
that boils my blood. Okay, because that's what my parents did.
I don't agree
But
with that.
the increased commitment can help them weather the challenges they face and maintain their connection until happier times return. Who wrote this?
I'm about to email them right now. Yeah, they had some good ones, and now that one. Like I said, we just do research on stuff, you guys. We pull it up, we read, and we're like, okay, we like this. But I do actually like to find stuff like this where it's like,
that's a. And if you agree with this, that's totally fine. I'm not opposed to that. But in my
but I don't believe that anybody should ever sacrifice something else for.
Parents themselves say it's worth it. It is worth it.
Yeah.
150 million %.
Once you get over whatever hump you want to call the 2, 3, 4s, because it's usually terrible 2s, which are us. If you were to categorize it, maybe 3, but like I think once you get over whatever hump, that is when you can communicate with your child. When you know they know what you're saying, even though they're making a face at you. When that day happens, you're like, you know what I'm saying.
You get
then
it.
You're over the hump because now I feel parent a little differently, and you know what she is
Well, you have
taking in.
tactical parenting at that point because you know how to approach potentially.
Yeah, and you don't have to be as lenient anymore because before you're like, well, I don't think she understands. Like, oh, she understands. You don't get it?
It's like
Go
she
upstairs.
understands right now that we're filming the podcast. She's upstairs getting put to bed, but I can hear her trying to work Nana, and I know she wants to come sneak down here because she came up to me and she goes, "Is that thing on?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, baby. I'm like,
Yeah, but I look forward to all the many years to come with
okay,
her
so
now.
here's the good news. How do you manage the stress? Okay, so, and I like these. I glanced over them. I like them. Find social support. So your partner isn't the only one who can help you. Mommy groups is all I can say. They saved my life. Not that you weren't there nor supportive, and any. This has nothing to do with you. I know.
Her.
I
was the only
needed,
dude.
like, you need to be around other mothers who are going through the same shit as you are, who are in the trenches, who can understand, sympathize with you, and can make you feel like, oh, my boob is leaking and my everything hurts and I haven't slept and I'm a hot mess. You're okay. I'm the same person. So just and for dads too.
For that first year, it's a lot easier.
My
Not
wife
saying anything
is crazy right now, and she is gonna jump off the bridge. Is that normal? And or whatever you dudes go through.
Yeah, but for the first year, I would say, yes, everybody has friends. The friends that do have kids are going to be the ones you want to lean on more than the ones that don't. Not saying like we're all still friends with everybody.
Do that,
it's just I think so
it's
too.
It's just the way it goes.
Like you'll find out one day or night like they have no idea what I'm talking about, or they like just don't get it.
And I respect that because I was that person too. Like you just don't know until you know. So I have no I'm not hurt or mad or upset by my friends who've never had children or don't have children yet or whatever the case is. And I get it now. But before I didn't.
Yeah, we still have all the same friends. It's just that first year, be very, it's plan.
You're good at this one. I'm not as good at this one. I'm learning. It took me a long time to learn this. You've pushed this on me. Practice extreme self-care.
Yeah.
Taking time for yourself. And as a mom, I'm sure some of you guys are like, Jess, I feel you. Yes. It's hard to step away and say, I'm going to go do this for me when like you feel like you're the soul, even though you have a significant other, maybe you don't. And if you don't, I feel for you, but like stepping away and saying, I'm going to do something for me. I'm going to do this for me. It's like, I could never do it.
What would be your top 3 to 5 self-care things you would do if you could do them tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
What brings you value?
I think I do them now. Working out for me is really important.
So exercise of some sort.
Spending time with the people I love, like whether it's just with you or just with girlfriends. It became really hard after having Aria because I would be like, I don't know who to separate my time with, right? Like if I'm getting time away from her, do I get time with him or do I get time with my friends? So that was really hard. And just like reading a book, like doing nothing, like not feeling guilty about doing absolutely nothing.
And that's the thing. But see,
that's hard for me.
But people do feel guilty, I think, because once you're doing nothing, you're like, I should be doing so much more with my time that I have. It's okay to do nothing.
Fast.
It's okay to do nothing. And I guess if you're going to do nothing, then do nothing outside. That's what I would recommend.
So what's your top self-care?
Exercise, even though like today I didn't want to do it, but it's so important.
You did it though.
Just walk. Do anything you want to do. Just do it outside.
Just get outside.
Just do it
get
outside.
Some sunshine.
Nature
or fresh
bathe.
air.
Nature bathe.
What's nature bathe?
Nature bathing.
Okay.
When you go anything outside. I read this like a couple weeks ago.
This is new.
I love it. No, remember I said it when we were in New Orleans. I was like, oh, nature bathing. It's the greatest line in the world. It's like sunbathing is like you're relaxed. Okay. Nature bathing.
Okay.
Anything you can do outside, do it outside. Just do it outside. If you're going to go walk on a treadmill, just go walk outside.
Yeah, true.
You
but
don't
what if
know.
You live in like freezing cold?
Back in the day when I was in Minnesota, there was nights and days where I would go running around the lake and it was butt cold. But no one was out.
You're nuts like that.
But it's whatever is going to make you well, here's the other thing. When it comes to exercise, it's a whole other topic, but you can also do other things when you exercise. You can listen to a podcast. Start yourself a podcast. Yeah. Find parenting podcasts. You're listening to this podcast.
Find something you like to listen to, like something that really makes you want to come back for more. We hope to give you guys that kind of feeling. If not, that's okay. That's cool. But we really hope that you get some sort of value out of this. Okay. So the next, what other nature bathing? Cutting you off. Really good at that.
Sorry. Being creative, I like editing, even though I'm doing that all day long. But I like that world. Anything creative. I mean, it might be. I don't mind doing crafts with Aria.
What my actual if I want to be really selfish, I just want to go get a massage. But I want it to be 5 hours.
The only tough thing I feel like the only tough thing about a massage during the day when you have a child at home
then
is
you
coming
go back
to the child
real life.
home, and it snaps in real quick. So I would almost save the massages for the after the fact of the night where you're on vacation. I think you get more value out of that. I think the massage can almost be worse when you have to come home because you're
Snaps you out of it.
you're less stressed, and you go get a massage, and all of a sudden you come home, you're like
loose and tense.
I don't. I mean, we've done it before, but we also have my mom who lives here, so she's very helpful. So we can do. It's different because we got that massage at one time, and that was great.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Focus on finding the right frame of mind. Enjoy every minute when times are good. Remember that this too shall pass. Oh, that resonates with me so much. Times get challenging with a child. You guys know that.
Yeah, everything will pass and everything will
and it changes.
Happen. What, Aria's 5? She just learned how to wipe her own butt. Literally. I'm like, she's wiping her own butt? For real?
Zack's like, did that really work? Is she doing a good job? I'm like, listen, she's doing it.
Yeah.
This is a win.
But we knew that starting with potty training. We're like, everybody will have the 2 cents of she should be I'm like, no, she'll figure it out one day.
It's a win. Focus on gratitude. Savor the positive experiences. Focus on what you're learning from your kids and all the ways in which it enriches your life. Keep a journal. Gosh, I need to get better at that. I know that's not your jam, but keeping a journal for me really helps me remember all those cool things that she did or something she said to me or something I just appreciated or learned from her. And now that she's 5, I learn a lot from her every day because she's a smart little kid.
I kind of keep digital journals, even though it's kind of a cop-out. But like with the video that we have, what I create.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like the digital journal.
I agree. Be patient with yourself, your partner, and your kids. Whew, I could work on that.
Patience is a very...
Have fun as a family. Super important. You got to carve that time out. Maintain friendships with other families and stay close with your family. So important. We've gotten closer with your family, I feel like, since Aria's been born.
My brother and a kid.
Mm-hmm. You know, your mom lives here. It's pretty cool. Like it's definitely changed the dynamic, and I'm grateful for that. Very, very grateful.
All right. So how do kids affect marriage? So would you change anything right now from our lives? With our child, having a child?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no.
Would you change anything in the last 5 years? Like, I wish I would have done that, or I wish I would have known that.
There's a ton of things. Like, I wish I wouldn't have stressed so much about little silly things. Like, I wish I'd just been like, you know what? It is what it is, and she's not going to die. I'm not going to die. We're all going to make it through. Like, why am I so hyped up about this? Sure, there's a million.
But that's a big thing to acknowledge.
There's a million things.
I mean, I think going forward, it took how many times.
But
like, that's
I'm
a big
grateful
thing.
of everything and every way that it went, and I wouldn't change it. I just now know, like, when these things come up and it happens, just chill.
Would you have used just reusable diapers?
Yeah, I would have tried it. I wanted to use. I like the planet.
I do too.
I want to do what I can for it.
I do too.
I would have done it. I would have regretted it, but I would have done it. You guys, listen, I did all sorts of crazy things for my child, so I definitely would have done
What you
that.
think is crazy is normal.
I pumped for my child for 8 months. Strictly pumped. Mommies out there, you know what I'm talking about. I took that machine everywhere with me. Oh, it gives me nightmares hearing that noise. I did things that I just feed them the damn formula. Like, oh my gosh, they're all going to live.
Yeah.
They're all going to live as long as they're eating. You know, if I just would have had that mentality, as long as they eat.
That's why
and they're
says,
happy
that's why
and they're
says
loved.
The
that's
second
all that matters.
That's why they say the second is easier. But I agree with people. The second is easier on that element of not stressing.
Yeah. But then you have all the other elements.
There's
that
a lot
come
more
into.
buts when it comes to a second, third, fourth, fifth. And we are one and done.
We love our child. We, if you ever have parenting questions, we're here. We'll listen. We'll chime in. We'll help you out. You can leave all those comments in there. Good, bad, whatever you got to say to us. We're cool with that.
Good, bad, and the poopy.
Good, bad, and the poopy. Aria's favorite, booty, butt, poopy. Now she's saying to me tonight. Oi. But yeah, kids will take you on a hurricane of life for the first little bit. Are they worth it? Every damn second. Every single second. You know, there's nothing more than I love than that little girl.
What about your kitties?
Oh, they're cool, but I have to clean up their shit till they die. I mean, I don't have to do that with my kid.
Up until a week ago, now she can wipe her own butt.
I know.
You did kind of have to clean up shit.
I did kind of 5 years of cleaning up poop.
Yeah.
Shit poop. I love the kitties, but no.
Just
nothing.
teach. Aria's close to peeing.
I mean, I love you, but I
know.
love Aria. And you guys can take that for what you will. And if you're a mom, you understand. Like,
I know. I've heard it a million
I know.
times.
Nothing new.
I know.
That's my wife.
So I think we're going to close out, you guys.
We're going to close out with Jess saying that she loves Aria more than Zach.
Thanks for joining, you guys.
Thank you,
and
guys.
Hope you guys got some value out of this. As Jess said, any comments you guys have, social, everywhere across the world is Money Marriage Magic.
And don't forget to follow us. We love a follow. We
Instagram,
love a
going to be posting tons of stuff.
We love questions. We love to take you on our journey. So yeah, please don't be afraid. Nothing is like.
There's never a bad question.
Nah.
Unless you mean it to be bad.
If you want to be mean,
But there's never a bad question.
Nah.
I
just want to end with, I do love you.
I love you too.
I love you.
Cheers.
It's cheaper than therapy.
Yep.